Hey guys, in today's video, we are going to be doing a foundation battle. I'm super excited. There are two products that we're going to be battling today. One is the old version of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. And if you guys don't know, this was actually my wedding day foundation. So I know this foundation very, very well. It also has some sentimental value. I was super excited to see that Makeup Forever has relaunched the HD. They've revamped it, they've reformulated it, and we're going to put them to the test today. We're going to battle both of them out and see, is the new formulation better than the old? Is the old better? I really hope that the old is not better because that would really suck. The old is now being discontinued and phasing out. As soon as it sells out, it's going to be gone. So let's hope that this one actually is better than the original. So let's get started with the similarities and the differences between the new products. So I'm just looking at what it says here. So the old foundation is labeled Ultra HD. It says it's an invisible cover foundation. Both of them are 1 fluid ounces, which is perfect. Now, you do have to shake them both before use, and that makes sense. I mean, you had to shake the old one as well. The new one is marketed as HD Skin, so it's actually a little bit different when it comes to wording. The packaging as well between the two of them, this new one is a lot more luxe. This one is glass. It feels very heavy, very weighty in the hand, and this one is plastic, so not as luxurious of a packaging style. The old one has a black cap, of course. This one has a beige cap now. So there's definitely something a little bit different with that, but packaging wise, I actually think the new one wins out so far. I do like the fact that a luxury product in the luxury price range does have a nice packaging style to it. Might be the only one, but those are some details I like to notice as well. Let's talk about the ingredients next. I was kind of curious about this. Now, I'm not a chemist or anything on how to formulate makeup, but I'm going to talk about briefly if there's anything I noticed right off the bat. So this is the packaging for the HD Skin. Sephora has removed now the Ultra HD off of the website completely. So I had to go to Hudson's Bay. If you guys don't know, that's a Canadian retailer. And I pulled up the old product. They do still have it. So I'm looking at the details here and they do have all of the ingredients listed. Interesting that the first ingredient in the new one is water or aqua. So it says aqua/water. The first ingredient in the old formulation is a very interesting chemical word. I'm going to try my best. Cyclopentasilisane. So water is second, but right off we have a very different formulation when it comes to the first ingredient in each product. You can tell right off the bat, the second ingredient in the old one is water, but this one has more of a water base right up front. When you think about the concentration of ingredients, the first one is always the highest concentration, then it goes down to the bottom, which is the lowest concentration in a formula. There's some interesting similarities except, and this is a very, very big one, I'm noticing in this new formulation that alcohol is the third ingredient in this product. Looking down at the old formulation, I see benzyl alcohol, but not until midway. That's going to be interesting. I'm just going to predict, it's not necessarily like a sure thing, but with this new foundation, if alcohol is in the top 3, this could be a drying factor, especially if you have dry skin. I don't know if this is going to play a bit of a role when we test it. So just to keep that in mind, alcohol is number 3. Fragrance was towards the bottom in the original formulation, and this one, it's about the same, about midway. Other than that, we have very similar ingredients, back and forth between them. There's a little bit of differences here and there with a couple things rearranged, but I would say the biggest one is the alcohol in the top 3 in the new formulation. So now let's talk about the new formulation and any of the benefits that it has versus the old. It says that this is the ultimate flawless second skin effect, high blur effect with a undetectable finish. It is buildable medium to full. Buildable medium to full is actually this product. This is definitely true with this. And I would say the original Ultra HD is more of a natural finish. It's ideal for normal, combination, and oily. Keep in mind it is not saying dry, so it's saying normal, combination, or oily. This one is a semi-matte finish, a little bit different, but yet luminous, it says. No color oxidization throughout the day, enhances skin tones, 24-hour long lasting, waterproof, sweatproof, and mask friendly. Original HD, like I said, medium coverage, buildable to full, because I know that given how often I've used it in the past. And it also says that it is a natural finish, which is more so my preference. Oh no! My skin tone is normal, basically. So I do have some redness to my cheeks. You guys can see that. I also have some acne that is on my chin that I'm always trying to battle. It is hormonal acne that flares up and down. And this is something, it's actually looking really good right now, but it does make my skin texture overall right here a little bit drier because I am using active acids. Now let's get into applying the primer. I think I'm going to use the Magic Cream from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the primer I've always used with the original formulation, so I wanted to give this new one also like a fighting chance at competing with my favorite. So I'm curious what you guys think about this reformulation. I already have a couple I'm so nervous because of the addition of alcohol being super high in that new formulation in the ingredient list there. And also just like the fact that it's a semi-matte versus a natural, I don't know. I really, really love a natural. Semi-matte to me can just it's prone to clinging, it's prone to looking a little dry, and it is important to note that Makeup Forever did say this isn't ideal for dry skin. So right off the hop, it's saying normal is the driest you can go. I know a lot of people, when they do bridal makeup, they use this one because it's also really nice for oily skin. You can just apply the powder after about 8 hours or so, and it seems to look perfect. And that's why it ends up being a very frequent choice for bridal makeup. This one does have a little bit of a light fragrance, but it also provides a little bit of a glow. I'm certainly going to need this for the new formulation for sure. And I'll definitely be using a glowy setting spray, I think, because I have done that with the original formulation as well. Of course, this was going to happen. I was taking a look at the shades. Okay, this one is definitely a little darker. So this is the Y252 with the original formulation. It's going to be a little bit more on the light medium. This is the Y245, which is going to be more on the light. I hope it doesn't look too drastic because I don't want it to look that weird, but we'll have to make it work here. So always shake before, of course. With both of these formulations, they're saying that a brush application will give you a more lighter coverage and the sponge will give you a heavier one. So I'm just applying a little bit on my Beauty Blender sponge. You guys can see that, and just applying. It does have a very similar smell compared to the, sorry, I'm like right hand dominant. I don't know what I was doing. This does have a very similar smell. It's not quite the same. And you can see here, this is actually it's supposed to be anyway, a neutral undertone shade. And yeah, I think so. I would agree. I can already tell, by the way, that this is going to be a semi-matte. Just looking at my skin in the mirror, it's definitely like that. It's got that plush kind of almost velvety finish on the skin. Just fresh application. One layer you can see did a really good job with my redness, so this is definitely a medium to full right off the hop. If you do have a dryness to your skin at all, I would definitely do more of that skin prep if you're really interested in this foundation. Going in with the old formula now, oh gosh, I hope this isn't a huge disaster for shade. Like, not bad. Hey, considering this one is incredibly darker according to Makeup Forever. Like, this one almost looks lighter. Can you guys see that? Wow, that is very interesting. Very, very weird, guys. Very strange. It also has much more of a glow. It's a little bit more glowy than this one, and that also makes sense given the descriptions between them. The new one being a semi-matte, not gonna have as much of a glow. The new one here is a natural. It will have a little bit more of a glow. I'm so worried I'm gonna love the old version more, guys. Like, crap. Shoot. Whenever there's something new, you want it to be a little better, right? You don't want it to be worse. I'm actually really happy too, for the sake of the testing, that the shades are actually not that far apart. Because as soon as I saw that, I was like, guys, I don't want to look darker on one side of my face. That's not going to look very nice. going in with the old formulation again. Oh, I love it. The old formulation is also just a touch runnier. That's kind of what I'm picking up too. When you think about something with such a strong memory behind it, I mean, I'm almost prone to loving the old one more just because of when I wore it, but I'm going to try my best. I don't think that we should knock the shade difference too much because it could be that I actually got the same shade. I know sometimes it's not always a direct translation from one new line to the next, so I will let you guys know that. But here we have the first layer. Both of them had a really nice window to blend, to build. Neither of them are setting super quickly where it feels like you're pulling at your skin trying to blend. So I really like that about both of them. I like the fact that you can build and it does still remain wet and a little dewy as you build and as you blend. When it comes to this one, even though it is a semi-matte, it did give you a lot of time to do that. So I really appreciated that too. I know sometimes with mattes, they dry a little faster in my experience, and then I'm like beating my face to death. This one is definitely a little more glowy, like I said, and the semi-matte offers a little bit less glow. Because it is a semi-matte though, we still have a little bit of glow peeking through, but nothing too crazy. I do like the fact that this one offers a little bit more. When it comes to dryness under the eyes, this one is creping a little bit faster already. This one is giving me a little bit more flexibility. Going to finish the rest of my makeup off camera and I will return with some more thoughts. All right, guys, we're back with the finished makeup look, and you guys can see there's a little bit of a slight darkness on this side, but it's not that bad. So the oxidizing is actually true. There is a claim that it's not supposed to oxidize on the skin, and I would say that that's correct. The old formulation does not oxidize on me either, so I was actually really excited to see that the new one also does not oxidize. Now, looking also at the texture, you can see, I hope the camera can pick it up, but there's a slight more glow on this side, which is the original natural finish. There's a little bit more of a matte or a lighter glow on this side. Now remember, this new HD skin is not a full matte. It's considered a semi-matte, and I would totally agree with that too, just first off application-wise. Looking at my skin, this side offers a little bit of like a velvety, semi-powdery finish, so it's not quite matte. This side offers a little bit more of that glow, but it is more natural, so it's not dewy. It's just a little bit more natural. Now I'm going to check in midday and see how this wears. For myself, normally I do tend to break through towards about 8 hours or so with the original formulation. Also right here at the chin, because I do have some acne treatments going on. There's lots of active acids daily that I'm using, so it will break apart here first as well, but let's see how it wears. Harvey has joined us for the very first check-in, and honestly, the skin looks really nice, actually. What do you think? You think it looks good? He's here for a quick hi, so I saw a comment the other day that was like, instead of a bones, no bones day, it's a Harvey, no Harvey day, but now it's a Harvey day, so we're gonna have a great day. We saw him, he said hi, he's so sweet. Okay, so interestingly with how these are setting, they're actually almost neck and neck at the 4-hour mark. So this is 4 hours in, and I do have some dryness here. It's just like a tad creasing in my laugh line. On this side too, it's creasing just a little bit, but the semi-matte is slightly more creasing than the other side. So we're almost neck and neck. Like I literally look at this and I see very subtle differences. So we have the matteness is just slight because it is a semi, and then this one is still on the glowier side, but I feel like it's wearing almost neck and neck. It's really interesting to me. I was thinking there was going to be a lot more of a difference. All right, guys, I'm back at hour 8, the final stop in this foundation battle. When I'm looking at my skin really close, I'm actually seeing a little bit more break apart on the old formulation side. The new formulation side actually held in there and seemed to do a bit better. Now, it hasn't budged. The new formulation hasn't done any more like degrading or any more breakdown since hour 4. So this one, the old formulation, that one seems to be gradually just getting worse as the day goes on, whereas the new, improved formulation seems to hang in there. As soon as it hits like half the day, it's almost like it doesn't do any more budging after that. The old Ultra HD, it did better at the halfway point, but it did worse at the end, which means that it's just slowly, gradually getting worse as the day goes on. Kind of interesting findings in my opinion. I was not expecting that. And the scary like semi-matte word kind of freaked me out a little bit, but it's not super matte where it feels tight or flat or lacks any glow to it. It has a teeny bit of a glow, granted not as much as the OG formulation, but you can always add a glowy primer, a glowy setting spray to amp it up a little bit more. When it comes to color, of course, you can see that this one is actually a little bit darker than the other side, even though it's a lighter shade. So when it comes to shade matching yourself, do not necessarily expect that it's going to be the exact translation from the old, because this one isn't, and they're fairly similar. And these do not have the same shade name, right? So they're closer than I thought they would be. Do go in store and get a shade match. It already is at Sephora, and I know they'll be able to help you out there. So yeah, that is my thoughts on this one. I'm actually fairly impressed. So far, so good. This first impression wear test was actually really fun. Hopefully it was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe for more, and until my next one, take care and stay safe. Bye guys.